Untold stories. We all have them. We all want to hear them. Journey with me, if you will, through my untold story of searching for my birth family. I was adopted, and I really didn't know what that meant. I was told that since I was born. But I knew that I felt different. And I loved my adopted parents, and I didn't want to hurt them, and I knew it would hurt my adopted mother if I started a search for my birth parents before she passed. So I waited until 1985 after she'd passed, and I started my search. And I spent thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours. I logged on to all sorts of different chat boards and adoption registries and everything I could. I went on to Ancestry DNA, and I learned what my ethnicity was, long word, but it really didn't tell me anything. But what it did was it told me I wasn't alone. I was searching for that story, and I started to share that story. My first share was a share that I made on Facebook, and it was a Mother's Day post. I shared a Mother's Day post to my mother, and I expressed what I thought about her, and people started to talk to me. And as they did, they shared new resources and ideas. One of them was a new program that the state of Indiana had. And I contacted an attorney about it, and she said, okay, let's fill out some paperwork. And I said, I've already done that a dozen times. I filled out the paperwork. Much to my surprise, I got a reply. And I'd been waiting for this letter for 30 years, and I was afraid to open the letter. But when I opened the letter, I was surprised to see the words, consenting party. My mother wanted to let me know about her, and she wanted me to know her. But unfortunately, I read the next words that came up, and it said, mother deceased. Her stories died with her. So, what do I do now? Well, I went to see if I could find an obituary to find more information. I went to newspapers.com. I found an obituary, and what did I find? I found that I had a brother and sister that I never knew that I had. And so now what? Well, how do I find them? I went to Facebook, and I went to LinkedIn, and I found my sister pretty quickly. I didn't find my brother so quickly. But now that I found her, what do I do to communicate? Exactly what sort of message do you generate? It's a little bit weird, I have to say. My headline wasn't, you've just won a new surprise brother. It might have worked. But it was, this is the strangest email you've ever received, but please read it. And she did. And within 30 minutes of sending that email, my sister called, and I got to meet my sister. And she did. She did what most new families do. She shared that picture on Facebook. Within 30 minutes of that, I got a call from my brother. And I found out that we had a lot of untold stories that my mother wanted to share with us. But those stories died with her. And she didn't tell any of us about each other. Those stories that were untold hurt us. But I continue my search, and with resources like DNA Detectives on Facebook and Ancestry, I continue to search for my unknown father and maybe more siblings that I don't know that I have. But that's not the big story. The big story is, what stories do you have? What's your story? We all have untold stories, and it's amazing what those untold stories may do or not do. But you know what? We have the ability to share those stories. We have an app on our phone, whether it's this app or any one of a number, that we could record those stories. Whether it's our story that should be shared, or whether it's a story of our father or our grandfather, grandmother, or so on and so forth. Can you imagine being able to share those untold stories? And what about people that are in hospice, that are in nursing homes, that are going to have stories die with them? If somebody would have told my mother's story to me, it would have made a world of difference to me and my siblings. Just remember this: there's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. So please share your stories too. Thank you.